proclaim love. Proclaim love not just as a fuzzy, warm notion, but an active principle engaged in informing us about how we live with each other, with our planet, with this economy, with the way we do business. Love is a verb, should be active, should be specific, and it's not weak. Actually, it's quite powerful. And it's brave for you to have love on your chest, because some people will look at you and say, oh, love, you know, it's just a sentimental notion. It's not practical. It's not realistic. For all those people who fight war after war after war and spend money after dollar fighting these wars that we never get peace, I'm telling you, love is way more practical, way more realistic, way more economically sensible than these other principles that we bring to bear. Love is the way we should do business. Love is the thing that makes sense. That's right. That's right. And also, you know, the fact is that we're here together, joined together, and I just want to recall a story from the Christian Bible. I'm a Muslim, but yeah, I'm talking about the Christian Bible today. And it's very universal that I'm going to say, because it's a story about a Jewish preacher in the Christian scripture. And of course, Jesus, who I'm going to talk to you about, is a highly regarded spiritual vessel and prophet in my own faith. So it embraces everybody pretty much. You know, Jesus was teaching to the multitudes one day, and he got a little bit, after he would teach so long and he taught to the multitudes, it got along around dinner time. And his helpers, you know, he turned to them and said, you know, it's getting to be around dinner time, so what do we have for the folks to feed them? And he turned to them and said, what do we got? And they said, all we got, man, is a couple of fish and some barley loaves. And they said, and they, you know, they looked at each other and they looked at him and said, it's not enough to feed all these people. It's not enough. They got to go home. We can't help them out. They got to go. It's time to wrap it up, brother. I've been in that situation, let me tell you. And Jesus he didn't argue with them. He just started handing out food. And as the scripture goes, there was enough. There was enough. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe the people noticed there wasn't enough, so they went home to their villages and they got more food to share. Or maybe what happened is that the disciples' perception of scarcity was misinformed, and actually there was more than they understood there to be. Maybe there was abundance. Maybe there was radical abundance, though they saw scarcity. I don't know. I don't know. But the scripture says that after the meal, there was not just enough, there was more than enough. And they had to pick up what was left over. And you know, today, you know, there's enough. There's enough for you and for me. There's enough for the straight and the gay. There's enough for the people who were born in America and the new immigrants. There's enough for the blacks. There's enough for the whites. There's enough for the Latinos. There's enough for the Asians. There's enough for the Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, the Buddhists, the Hindus. There is enough, everybody. There's enough for you. There's enough for me. We don't have to throw anybody under the bus. We don't have to chase anybody out the door. We don't have to say who doesn't belong and who's not included. There is enough. And I just want to say to you, that there is enough if you and I will commit ourselves and have a strength of spirit. Not tough, not bad, but a strength of spirit based on our belief that love is the answer, and that people who don't quite see that, people who are operating on the basis of fear, who think that it's important to throw people away and throw people out and divide us, if you will be strong and brave enough to stand up against that philosophy, not against those people, but against the philosophy, because people can change, right? Then we will be able to really say there is enough. But it's going to take you and it's going to take me. And you know what? Cynicism is not a virtue.